Good morning, guys. Matthew Lippert back here with another video. This is July 4th, 2025. I'm out here going to do a little bit of AC work on my van. It's a 2014 Chrysler Town Country van. It's getting hot out here in Bakersfield, and it blows cold while I'm driving down the road, but when I'm sitting in town, it just doesn't get all that cold. So, I don't think it's had an AC service in a long time, so I'm going to hook my machine up to it and just see what it can do, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. If you have any questions, comments, anything that if you are an ASC certified mechanic, anything that I can do differently, leave them in the comment section as well. I'm a totally self-trained, what I call a backyard or a shade tree mechanic. My shade tree might just be a little bit bigger than some, but I have no formal training whatsoever in auto mechanics. I've done all this on my own. Of course, I'm 65 years old, so I've been doing this for a long time. I've learned a thing or two, just trying to help you out. Hope it does. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me turn this camera around and let's get started. Hey guys, here's this 2014 Chrysler Town Country. First thing I did was I already took one of them off, the caps for the AC port. There's the high side port clear under there. You see how I got to that? You just go in over top of the engine and down into there. So I already took the cap off. You always want to try to keep these caps on there. It helps keep that dirt and debris out of there. And the other one, you can't even see it now. It's way down in there. I'm going to have to take some things off. Let me go grab some tools. I'm going to have to take this whole air box off, the power steering reservoir, those hoses right there. So let me go ahead and there. I don't know if you heard that, but somebody's playing with fireworks already, and it's only, 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're already playing with fireworks. So. But let me go get some tools and I'll be back. Before I put this thing on the tripod, that is right there. Right there is a screw for this air intake hose. I wanted to show you that because once I set up the tripod, you won't be able to actually see that. You'll be able to see me working on it, but you won't be able to see that itself. So I wanted to show you that before I put it on the tripod. Okay, I'm going to start by taking off this air intake hose here. You can use a nut driver or a flat blade or standard screwdriver. Loosen it up a little bit. Somebody's trying to call me. And then just kind of wiggle that off. It's fairly snug. Then this one just pulls right off. No big deal. Then we have should be a 13, I think that's a 12. There's a hose, a nut right here for the power steering reservoir. Go ahead and spin that nut off. I don't get a ratchet out for that. It spins off pretty easy. You just kind of move that out of the way. Then you have a clip here, and then there should be, that's it, just those two clips. Pull the airbox lid out, set it off to the side, pull the air cleaner out, these gloves on, for some reason, I'm probably not the gloves, just my hand, but it doesn't want to come out, so, okay, get that out of the way. Now, the rest of this air box is not screwed in. It's popped in on some plugs. Just give a good hard tug on it a few places, and then it will come out. There's a receptacle there for a pin. There's a pin there and a pin there. Those receptacles are down there. Set that out of your way. Now, let me grab the camera and I'll find that one. All right, right here is the low side. Yeah, that had a little bit of pressure in it, which somewhat concerns me. So I'm going to get my Kimball Midwest valve cores out and see if I have one that'll replace that. Maybe that's loose, but let me get my tool out first. But there shouldn't be any pressure in there, just a little bit of pressure. So that could explain why this thing isn't working like it should work. So, but first thing I'm going to do is go get my little tool and see if I can make sure that's tight. And here's my old antique SnapOn AC machine. It's a dual R12 R134A machine. I don't use the R12 side at all, just the 134A side. I'm not going to go into all the specifics of the machine. That's not what this is. But I just want to kind of show you what I'm doing. I'm going to turn this camera around a little bit, and then I'm going to, well, first thing I'm going to do is I take these things, I'm going to hang them up here, get them over here where I can see them. Hang them up right there. So red goes to the high side, blue goes to the low side. Can't mix those up. Let me turn my camera around here a little bit. All right, now let me go over here on the other side. All right. So I'm going to take the blue side. Actually, this is the high side here. All right, I had the two sides mixed up. You can't mix them up because one's bigger than the other. It's been a long time. I couldn't remember which side was which. I had a 2015 van just like this, and it was the same way. So once you get that on, I open that valve. Then I'll work my hand inside of here. This is a challenge because there's not a lot of room, and you know, you want to make sure you do this, for me, when the engine's cool, because well, it's hot. Make sure my valves are open here. What I'm going to do first is recover or remove all of the refrigerant that's in the van, and then I'm going to vacuum it out or evacuate it. So I'm going to start my compressor here, and then I'll go into a couple more things. Once my compressor kicks in, there we go. And my machine has a scale on, so it'll tell me exactly how much I took out. There's my gauges as it's recovering that refrigerant. And then most vehicles have this right on this front panel above the radiator. There's your R134A. If I have a single AC, it takes 1.81 pounds of refrigerant. If I have dual AC, which this has, it takes 2.53, basically 2.5 pounds of refrigerant. So I should be pulling out close to that. If not, there's my problem. And then I'll put back in 2.5 pounds of refrigerant. I'm down to nothing right now. What my goal is to get it down here to where it says 10 inches of vacuum. And then I'll turn this compressor off, let it go through its purge cycle. And then I'll turn the vacuum pump on and try and get it close to 30 inches of vacuum. Right now, we're already in the vacuum cycle, and I'm at 1 pound, 12 ounces. So I'm 3/4 of a pound low. 3/4 of a pound low in this system. That's quite a bit low, so that can definitely make a difference. So I'm sure I'm going to get some better cooling out of this once I get this thing done. So like I say, once that hits 10 inches of vacuum, which is pretty dang close, about another minute, I'm going to shut this compressor off, let it purge, and then I'll turn the vacuum compressor on and let that vacuum for about 30 or 40 minutes. And a lot of times I have a separate vacuum pump I use. I'm not going to today just because, but largely because this is my vehicle. I can hook this machine up anytime I want. When I do someone else's vehicle, I hook the other vacuum pump and I run it at least 45 minutes because it's not as easy to do somebody else's vehicle as is my own because everything's right here. So let me go ahead and switch this and turn this into vacuum mode, and I'll be back in a little bit. Also, I remembered I wanted to check this high side valve core. It's tight, so I'm going to take it out, see if I have one to replace it, and because there was some pressure on that. I'm going to do that before I vacuum it down. All right, here's the valve core. Let me go over here. I have my Kimball Midwest. It's an orifice tube assortment, but I've added some of these valve cores in there. Okay, so there's this one. I want to find one that's the same thing. I gotta find a place to put it. There. All right. Everything wants to roll away. I think this is the same thing. Let me this thing to stop for a moment. Yes, that's the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put the new one in and put it in the same way it came out. Get back over here. Got my tool aside. Take this thing, drop it in. Thread side first. Then take my little tool, go in there. I'll show you this tool here in a minute. There's two sizes of this tool, a small one and a large one. The large side works on the bigger valve cores like this one. I'm going to turn around and use my right hand, a little more strength with it. You want to get that as tight as you can. But here's this tool. You have a larger size for the big ones, smaller size for the small ones. Now I'll go ahead and hook that back up and evacuate this. Okay, here we are. You can see we're pretty dang close to about 27 inches of vacuum. So it's been on here pretty close to 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. And I'm going to recharge it. It takes, like I say, 2.53. I'll probably put in, I usually put in an ounce to 2 ounces more because these, you got, there's actually 3 hoses, and so you have an ounce or 2 of refrigerant inside of those hoses. So that way you end up with, the 2.5 ounces that you should, the 2.5 pounds that you should have in there. And then we'll see how she works. When you put this air box back in, you got to make sure this gets inside of that hole. Otherwise, it's never going to fit down in there right. And then it's just a question of trying to feel around, move these things here out of the way. It's just a question of feeling around and finding where it fits down in there. And that's going to take both hands. So, but yeah, it's just a question of feeling around in there, finding where it fits down in there and pops into place. But make sure that tube is into that air box first. Okay, guys, there you go. Recharge that AC on that 2014 Chrysler Town Country with the 3.6 liter V6. Pretty simple. Obviously, having that AC machine helps. I've done it before with just using gauges, but man, that AC machine, there's just no guesswork. You know exactly how much you took out. You know exactly how much you put back in. You know you got the right amount of refrigerant in there. Just takes all the questions out of it. That would then, if you still have issues, well, then you got other problems you got to look at. So that concludes that thing. So smash that like button, share this video, subscribe to my channel, will you please? I'm up getting close to 1,200 subscribers. Appreciate your help. Let me know in the comment section what part of the country or the world you watch this from. Let me know if this helps you. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. If you are an ASE certified mechanic and you have some pointers, put those in the comment section. That helps the people out that maybe have some questions or whatever. And that's really why I do this channel. And appreciate you guys tuning in. Until next time, may God bless you and have a great day.